Guys, it's your boy CG Fix again. We're going to be working on an Xfinity 2005 G35. We're going to be doing the valve cover gasket, and let's get it rolling. Oh yeah, I think it sounds beautiful. Be ready, because there's a lot to be taken out. We're going to be taking out the intake, a bunch of wiring we're going to take out the way before you even get to the valve cover gasket, and there's two of them. If you don't know, if you're going to get into this job, you got to make sure you're a little bit experienced, and if you're not, just follow every step, because we're going to be taking a lot of stuff, the intake out. Yeah, a lot of things. So just pay attention to the video, every little bolt. Make sure you put them on the side, and you save everything, because there's a lot going on just to change two valve cover gaskets, because there's more gaskets you got to take out. And it's a V6 3.5 G35 valve cover gasket for a 2005. All the gasket that you're gonna have to replace doing just this job right over here. You're gonna have to replace the intake, manifold, stuff like that. You're gonna have to just literally, all these gaskets are gonna have to be changed when you do this job, because they're gonna either rip apart, they're gonna be old. You don't want any leaks or anything, so make sure you do it right and do all the gaskets just to get this done. So without further ado, let's get ready. We're gonna get the tools ready. David's gonna go ahead and do the job. David, you already know he's gonna do everything, and we'll show you, step by step on how to take everything out to get to the valve cover gaskets. First, before you do anything, you touch anything on the engine bay or anything, make sure you remove the battery terminals. It's gonna be 10 millimeters. And if you don't have power tools, you can do this with your, regular ratchet and stuff like that. You don't need, expensive power tools or nothing like that. Just like that. Just remove your terminals, just to be safe. You don't want any shorts happening, anything going wrong with, codes, stuff like that. So that's the reason why we take out the battery first every time. Good to have one of these tools so you can keep all your bolts together. It's magnet, so, it'll stick on to anything that's magnetic, which this car has a lot of carbon fiber, but that's magnet. Well, the thing fell off, but yeah, just keep it around, pull your bolts there, don't lose anything. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the intake and take everything out, the plugs and all the bolts and everything. So he already took out, as you can see, the plug right over here that connects to the mass flow sensor. It goes right in here, and then it connects to this little bracket here. So you want to pop that off, get that out of the way, because this is what we're gonna be working on next. We're gonna be taking out the intake before we do anything. Just taking this ball right here, already has it pretty loose, and you're just gonna go ahead and follow up all the way up to this one right here, and then after that it should really just come right off. So you can see we're going right up to that ball I was talking about, and he's gonna be just jimmying it in there so you can pop it right off. All right, boys, it's a little struggle, but you just go ahead and wiggle it out. And we have another line here. Okay, so yeah, we have another line in the bottom as well. As you can see, this stuff sometimes they just come in as we do mechanic work. So take that line out for sure before you take anything off. Get yourself some pliers, anything, just to take that off. Boys, so as soon as you take that line out the bottom, you can see it connects to right here. This hole's right over here. You're all set, ready to go. We were gonna take it out from this spot right here, but it came out easier from this side. So it is what it is. Either you take it from there or there, it doesn't really matter. So next you're gonna be taking out all this harness right here. There's a plug that goes right in here. You can see, took it out. And you're gonna go around basically this whole harness right here and go around the whole area and go ahead and start removing all the plugs in this wiring harness out the way, so you can get into this part right here, which we're gonna be working on next. Go ahead, if you want some of these bolts, you could just go ahead and put them back exactly where they were at, so you won't misplace them or anything. These are the two ground bolts that go to this harness right here, so just go ahead and put them back. And again, like I said, just keep going around, all around, basically follow this whole wiring and just remove all this wiring off. And then this one he took off from here, and then he's just gonna put it right back. As you're going around with the harness, you also have to take out, stuff like this. Right here, this hose. You have to take out this right here. Everything that's basically holding on to this right over here. you're gonna have to take it off. As you can see, just go all the way around and make sure you take everything off before you start taking bolts from in here and stuff like that. Because that's the next step after doing all that stuff, all the plugs, all the cables, hoses, stuff like that. Make sure you take that off. Pop that off. As you can see, it's going to be a quick little montage of basically removing everything around it. That's what we're going to be doing for this part, because there's a lot, to go through. But it shouldn't be, that hard as long as you're following the, the wire harness. You would know everything around it before you take that intake off. So now we're going to get ready to take out the intake manifold out. So basically, there's a few things that are underneath it that we have to see. So we need to remove this now. But mostly everything else that you prep, basically taking off the wire harness, that's basically done. These bolts right here hold on to the this piece right here, which is bracket that holds in all this part right over here. And yeah, so let's start basically just removing all these bolts here, and they're all going to be 10mm bolts. Every single one. There's about 22, I believe. 22, 23 bolts that you have to remove, and make sure that you put these bolts exactly in the same spot, because some of these are different length and different sizes. So like, not size wise was 10mm, but the length wise, like these right here are not going to fit on this side. So make sure that you remember where these bolts go. Just like that, remove it. So that little clip has a little safety thing that you have to lift it up and then pull it out. This is another part of that wiring harness that I'm talking about.
Yeah, now I have to go around.
So one that's hidden right in the back there. It's right behind the throttle body and the intake manifold, so it's gonna be right there. So make sure you get that one as well. There's gonna be a few, like I said, there's gonna be a few behind. So like, make sure that you go and you don't want to find out why you can't lift up the intake manifold. As you can see, it's lifting right up, and then we'll have to loosen a couple bolts probably that are still attached. But yeah, that's what you have to do right after. Alright. Yep, something holding is probably a wire. So as you can see, there's a line here to the back. So if you follow along, we're gonna take it out from the bottom. It's gonna be much easier than taking it out from there, and then it should just come right off. Yeah, so I forgot to mention, this is an antifreeze line. So make sure you get something to catch some antifreeze, because it is gonna either spill out or something. So make sure you have something to plug it as well. Yeah, so just be ready. As you can see, when you want to take it off right here, there's a little bit, so make sure you plug that up when you're taking it off, boys. So there is another line that's on the bottom of the throttle body. I'm gonna show you right here. He's pointing at it right there, and that's another line that you have to take off. So like I said, this is a little bit complicated job for a beginner, but if you follow step by step, you shouldn't be having a problem in removing all these parts to get to your valve cover, and you don't have to pay a local mechanic. And that's the other one right there. All right, boys, just take your rusty old pair of rusty pliers, and then yeah, just remove that line. like a flathead. Wiggle it around whatever you can to just remove that line there. That's it, baby. Make sure when you're placing it down, you know, you don't wiggle it too much because remember you still got all these bolts around, and it's good to just keep them there, you know, so you know where they go. All right, boys. So once you took the top out, you gotta take the bottom part out, the bolt here, and then you're eventually gonna have to remove all these bolts there. And there's another one holding it back here. Yep. There you go. Yep, and that right there, that's this gasket right here. And so go ahead and there's 2 bolts here, take them off, and then you just move this thing onto the side, just like that. And then this puppy should be ready to come off. We got hose here. There's always a dang hose around. There's always something coming up eventually. That's how it is when you do mechanic work. Make sure you take your time with these because you don't want to break them off unless you're planning on replacing all these hose. You know what I'm saying? So make sure, yeah, you take your time taking these off. Hose. Yeah, as you can see, it's old, so it's going to be cracked up anyways. I have to replace that eventually. Well, yep. Take all the hose out and really take her out. Thing. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go, boys. So there's another gasket as well here. And now we're getting closer, you know. Congratulate yourself if you're getting this far. And you haven't lost a bolt or a tool.
And now we're going to take all the wires out.
Yep.
Coil. Primero.
Yep. Also, make sure that you plug something up here as well. You don't want anything going into the engine. So make sure you just get some cloth, anything that basically will plug anything up. But next step we're gonna do is gonna take this wire harness out that hold all the ignition coils. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, and then the same thing on the other side. There's a V6, so you're gonna have 2 sides, 2 heads, 2 valve covers. You know, but you should know that by now. If you have your car, you should know that by now. And as you can see, he's just covering it up with a microfiber cloth here. All right, boys. So right now he's basically just prepping everything up. Take the harness out, 10mm bolts all around. Get yourself a piece of pliers so you can just start taking off any clips that are holding in the harness. Oh, and always have a magnet. As you can see, he dropped the bolt there and he's looking for it now. All right, boys, there you go. That's why you always need a magnet handy. A bolt might always drop, so just be careful. Boys, so there's a plug in the harness. That's gonna go back behind here. I'm gonna try to see if I can get an angle of it. Right there. And that connects to this whole harness to the ignition coils and stuff. And then there's a clip there as well. That's where you're using the pliers to remove all those clips. Oh, there's a bracket there? Oh, there you go. With a 10mm bolt, just got that bracket there. Alright, boys, there's another plug that goes off this one right here, the one you just took off. You follow it, it's right over here, under this hole. Boys, so this connector right here has a little safety pin thing.
Yeah, in the back here.
So you're gonna have to push in a little pin. I'll show you as soon as he takes it off.
Yeah.
As you can see, look, this thing right here pushes in and then comes right out.
That's for the cam sensor.
Yep, with a cam sensor right down there. So slowly but surely, coil plugs. There's 1, 2, and then the third one's over there. But it's basically now just removing all the wire harness for this these coils. There you go. That's one side of the wire harness taken off. Next, going out to the other side, and we're just wiggling things around to see what needs to come off, what doesn't. Boys, so there's a plug right under the harness. You push up, just like that. There's a bolt there for the bracket that's holding it in place. Yeah. Go ahead and remove it there. It's a 10mm bolt, you can see. And that's the bolt, baby. Yes, sir. Little by little, this thing is loosening up. And now he's basically going to remove the plugs out of the coils. That's one. Second one's there. You can see. And the third one is right over there. There you go. There's another plug here to take off. There's also a little clip there that's holding the harness in place. I have to remove that as well. Take a little pliers, poke those in, and it comes right off. Easy as that, baby. Boys, so you know, we're discovering more brackets and more brackets every time we take the wires out. So it is what it is. This is So there's a hose that, you know, goes across both valve covers. You're gonna have to remove this as well.
Yeah, one side only maybe.
You're gonna have to remove. You might have to remove this though.
No, voy a sacarlo de aquí.
Yeah, from here. Yeah, and then take it out that way. Yeah. So basically, you just want to prep everything. You know, take everything that you need to take off. You know, so you can, you know, just remove the bolt here that hold in the valve cover.
The coil.
Yeah.
Soltar estos wires here on both sides.
Old, you know, happens. So put to the side, and now we can start working on taking all the bolts out, you know, and everything. Take all the valve cover out. So again, on the other side, it's the same thing. Just removing this these clips to put the wiring on the side. All right, boys, so after all the bolts are removed, just go ahead and take a pry tool or something, you know, so lightly do it, because these are plastic, they're not aluminum, so you gotta be careful with these. You don't want to go ahead and just pry and then end up breaking a piece off of it. As you can see, we're almost out of there. Just like that. Just a couple wiggle around. And just like that, baby. That's how you take it out. That gasket is torn up. Look how hard it is. That shit's toasted. That thing is toasty. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see all that leak all around. All that nasty stuff all the way around. And on the other side, it's the same thing. But that's how you remove the valve cover, you know. It's a pretty tough job, not for a beginner, but if you follow all the steps, you should be able to do it yourself. And we'll come back and start, you know, putting things together, cleaning stuff up. And it's basically just reorder everything that, you know, you basically did and taking everything off. Boys, so if you guys want to go ahead and clean, we use some paint thinner. It's basically the best thing you could do in a rag. And go around,
Do the best.
all around and clean up all the, you know, all the debris and all the crust and everything on both sides. Like I said, it's just basically the same concept as here. So he already, you know, I didn't even record this side, but basically the same thing. Just make sure you clean off everything before you even start putting any gaskets on there, because you want it to sit even, flush, and get the job done right so you won't get any leaks. Boys, so just to let you guys know, there's 3 here that doesn't come with the valve cover gasket. And the issue with these are integrated. You can go ahead and, you know, chisel them off and grind them off, but it's going to be a hassle and a pain in the ass to do. So most recommended is just literally buy this whole piece. It takes too much time to just be cutting off, you know, with grinder and stuff. But these gaskets in the middle for the spark plug do come in integrated in there, so they're not just, you could take them off like he just did right now. So just letting you know, this whole piece is like 1 unit with the gaskets integrated in the piece. All right, boys, you can see brake cleaner does the job as well. I'm gonna clean off everything as possible. Take all that debris and all that junk that's been collecting for over, goddamn, I don't know how many years. But make sure you do it right, you know, and clean off everything, especially the surrounding as well. You can see all around. Make sure you clean all that off before you put any gaskets on it. As we're working, it started snowing. Well, not snowing, it's like, you know, that icy snow. I don't know if you guys can see it, but shit, we're out here. You know, eventually in the future, if you guys help us out enough, we'll have a real garage with freaking lifts and everything, right, David?
Yes, sir.
That's the plan, that's the dream, you know, to get a, you know, a place and with you know, all the tools and all the freaking, you know, the lifts and stuff like that. But right now, you know, we have a little setup right here. And we're also going to do a video of cleaning that garage, you know, so we can make it look nice and professional and you can put cars in there and stuff like that. So it's in the progress, you know. But with all the help and support, all the likes and sharing and comments you guys do, you know, we'll get there. I count on you guys. You guys, I got your back. You know, you got my back. And he's just cleaning off some parts, you know, to put in there. So make sure that everything goes together. You know, the gasket is the gasket. You know, you match it with the other one. Right now, he's just kind of like test fitting it, making sure everything goes in place. And after that, then he's gonna, you know, install it in the engine. But he's just making sure everything, you know, goes together. Some silicone, which if I can get it from this angle, it's right over there, right there.
Right here.
There you go, some silicone.
Aquí por the corners.
And basically just put them in the corner. You don't want
to
put too much.
Here and the other side.
Yep.
And here and the other side.
We just like to put them in the corners, you know, just to secure kind of like a suction, like a, you know, firm fitness in there so it won't leak and anything like that. But basically, like I said, the job's basically done in part of, like, you know, how to remove everything. The rest of the video is just no point of showing you how to put it back, because it's common sense. You just basically reorder everything, you know, from how you took it out, you know, install it back in the same way. And everything else is going to be him just putting everything. It's going to be a quick montage of him just like putting everything together and quick parts here and there. But yeah. Boys, well, that sums up the video. As you can see, David did the job. Basically, he's just going to reorder everything, you know, that we just show you how to take out. And I hope you're able to do it, and I hope the video helped you out, where all the bolts and all the things you need. Most of the bolts are like 10 millimeters. You need pliers, 10 millimeter socket, and something to pry on. But other than that, you know, David's the monster mechanic here. I'm just recording the video. And I'm mostly going to be like this all the time because I do all the editing and all the video stuff like that. So he does all the work. But without further ado, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. David, you guys already know. See you guys in the next one. Peace.